impersonation. I would lap. It'll be in my stream.
Nice.
I'll
There.
lap her around.
All right, sent you an invite.
Thank, thank you.
Oh. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Belgium. Welcome to Spa-Francorchamps, if I pronounced that right. We are here for qualifying for the Assists Section 1 League. I am here today commentating with Mikau.
G'day.
And
How you doing today, Chrysler?
We talked about interrupting each other before. I'm sorry. But
You doing all right?
yeah, I am doing all right today. How are you?
I'm really well, thank you. I'm keen to see what these drivers are able to put on for us today. Should be a good one.
Absolutely. We also, as always, have Biggles in the pit lane.
Hello, everybody. Good to see everybody back. I'm excited. This is the last race of the 2019 calendar, so it's going to be fun.
Yeah, absolutely. We have right now at 17 car grid. We are waiting on Charles Non-Crash, the championship leader, is going to be late today. So that's might be a factor that will affect him in qualifying. But there you go. There you go. Now we see our drivers coming out of pit lane. Your championship standings right now. Charles Non-Crash has retaken the lead of the championship with 60 points. Chipsy in second with 53. Henner's in third with 49. I'm not going to go over everyone. I'm going to go over everyone who has a shot at the championship because the full standings you'll see later. You're saying Henner's with 49. Duck Lovers with 44. Freeware with 40. I skipped someone. Sorry. I'm going to redo it. Charles with 60, Chipsy with 53, Henner's with 49, Duck Lovers 45, Squiddy 44, Freeware 40, and Of the Hood 37. Those are your 7 runners who have a chance, depending on how standings play out today, to have the lead of the championship going into the 2020 half of the season.
Yeah, it's quite close. After the first 5 rounds of this championship. So, with still more than half the races left to go, anyone still realistically has a shot at it, but definitely that consistency over the 2019 portion is certainly going to help their championship hopes.
Absolutely, and I'm going to go out of the game for just a second to go to the constructors' standings, which we haven't talked about. They're even tighter than the drivers' standings. We're referring to everyone as their 2020 team names just because this is a half 2019, half 2020 game. Alpha Tauri currently your constructors leaders with 61. Ferrari right behind them with 60. Red Bull with 58, and Mercedes with 54. Any of them could win the constructors championship. Haas with 44. McLaren with 23. Renault with 22. Racing Point with 13, and Williams and Alfa Romeo both on 0 points.
Yeah, so we got a few drivers now starting their first runs in this qualifying session. I believe the Funky JJ in the Williams will be the first one to go around. Just making his way through Sector 2 at the moment. Using a good amount of that curb, probably could take a tighter line.
Ooh, and there's a car behind him that's crashed into the bollards. I think that's God of Hellfire. No, that was Ziploc. I apologize. Ziploc. Biggles, what's the damage on his car looking like? As we see, there's a whole front wing section gone.
Yeah, you called it exactly. That's the wing gone, so he's definitely going to have the box. I'm still up here in race control right now, just trying to get all the telemetry information sorted out, so I'll be able to get back to you guys with more information.
Thank you. Sorry again for the blank screen. Just had to switch back over to the driver's standings. JJ, we're following along. Currently, is only raced in these last 2 races as a reserve driver. Currently, had a DNF in Germany and 6th place in Mexico. Is going to look to show more of the Mexico race than the Germany race. He's coming through the chicane across the line. He's gonna set the time to beat. It'll be a 1:45.6. As the next driver behind him will be in a Haas, and it'll be Henners who sets a 1:43.8 immediately after. Henners on provisional pole. Only 3 people have qualified so far.
Yeah, Izzy 9 time just slotting himself there into second with a 1:44.9. So that's a good showing from the Toro Rosso driver, or AlphaTauri, or Tori.
However you want to do it, they're at the top of the Constructors' Championship. We're going to go alongside with Duck Lovers. Duck Lovers is usually a very fast driver, but inconsistent as well. Has had 2 DNFs within 5 races, but when he has not DNF'd, he's always finished within the top 4. Duck Lovers, it appears, had invalidated his lap, so that will not count. As we go along with Grigor, the newbie, what can he show? Coming across the line, also invalidated his lap. Or maybe just the in-game telemetry is sometimes wrong. Maybe it's just showing maybe it's just not showing that they're on an out lap. I'm not sure.
He seems to be starting his lap at the moment. Did go very deep into LOR, so it's probably not going to help his Sector 1 time all too much. But the times that we have been seeing are very, very tight. Freeware coming across the line a little bit earlier, setting a 1:43.84. So only 200th in it between the top 2 at the moment, as Charles Noncrash now joins the session. So I'm curious to see how he goes starting from the back of the grid in this race.
Yeah, let's hope he can get some qualifying in. It's definitely because he's in definitely a disadvantage. He's already started at the back once. That was due to a qualifying ban for accumulating too many penalty points, and that happened in Germany. As you see, I think that was Muniz, although I'm not sure exactly who that was crossing the line. Now we see, gonna pause for a second. We see Chipsy up into 3rd place, 1:44.9. That's a full second off of Henners in second. Just showing the gap that Freeware and Henners have to the rest of the grid. Duck Lovers tops Chipsy though, 1:44.2. But anyways, as I was saying about Charles, he had to start at the back of the grid once due to a qualifying ban, and he scored 9th. The rest of his finishes have been 3 podiums, and 3 podiums, one of them being a win, and 1 DNF. So that'll definitely affect him starting from the back.
I mean, it can be fairly simple to overtake here. You get the good run out of La Source up Rouge and Radion onto the Camel Straight. Using that DRS to full effect, just picking up the slipstream from the car in front. You can definitely make pretty large number of overtakes here. So it'll still be a lot of work for the championship leader, but certainly not impossible like at some other tracks.
Yeah. One thing I just want to say, of the Hood, I thought he was going to come across the line, but he's going to go to the pits. He hasn't set a time just yet. But one of the things that I did want to say is before the race is that looking up and printing out the maps of the corner names, there is some variance as to the corner names and where they are on the circuit. So I apologize if that information is inaccurate at any time during the stream.
I'm just looking out on board with Yoda as he's making his way through Sector 2. One of the new drivers that we haven't seen in LOR. Of course, I know him, personally. He's a very fast racing driver, doing very well in the Misfits Racing League series that has ended, a couple weeks ago. So he's definitely got some strong pace. I want to see how he's able to do against the rest of the grid as we have a retirement.
Ooh, Squiddy, that is at turn. That is 16. I think. I'm trying to find the other Williams. Passing it now. Yeah, he's completely retired. Both of his one wheel completely off. Both and the other wheel sideways. This car That was not good for him. I'm gonna go with Freeware, and we'll see. Yeah, it's right in the middle of the circuit, finally being taken out. That'll affect some people's qualifying laps, as Yoda has set the fastest qualifying time, 1:43.6. That's 2/10 ahead of anyone else right now.
Yeah, it's a solid opening lap from the Williams. Just looking at the position of that Haas, he either like went too aggressive on that outside curve and just got a whole bunch of oversteer and couldn't catch it. Or another potential is that he just got a whole bunch of understeer going through that right-hander and just, hit that wall on the left-hand side. That wall comes up pretty quickly if you get the line wrong. So very unfortunate for the Haas driver. Luckily, he was able to set a time with a 1:46.8. I'm not sure what grid position that'll get him in the end, but at least he got a time on the board.
Yeah, definitely very good to get those positions. Just trying to find out who is next on their quali lap, and going through everyone. It looks like that will be JJ. The other Williams will be the next to set a lap. Currently through 13 and 14, I'm gonna mispronounce these French corner names. Through Campus Gustavlot. I'm mispronouncing that. Apologize, but coming up to sector 3. I forgot to mark the sectors on the map that I'm using. I'm just gonna quickly look that up.
Yeah, he's just making his way through the bus stop at the moment. Had a bit of a wheel on the grass through Blanchimont, but it seems to not have cost him too much. Let's see if he improves. He does improve up to 5th place with a 1:44.7.
That's good racing from him.
As easy 9 time coming across the line to set a 44.1, so that'll put him in 4th. Only a few tenths behind Henners in the Haas, but still yet to crack that 43 barrier.
Freeware coming into the pits.
The Renault off. Going up our Rouge. That's Fez.
That is not good. I'm gonna go along with Duck Lovers. Gonna see if he can get to the incident. Going off the Eau Rouge, and Radion is Rouge. Yeah, just on the side of Radion. Is going to start from the back of the grid. Hasn't set a time. Vez so far only scored points in one race so far, and that was an 8th place finish in Azerbaijan. So that's definitely not what you're wanting to do if you want to score points. It's unfortunate. Grigor now is gonna go through Rouge and Radion. Gonna see if he can improve his time. Start on the back of the grid. Coming up to the Camel Straight. Is anyone coming close to the line? He's on and out.
Environment. So I have a McLaren going through. That'd be God of Hellfire. Just make his way through the bus stop to finish off his lap.
Hellfire, consistent points finisher, 11th place in the championship currently, and improves to P11. With a 1:45.8. And Muniz is on an outlap, so Will of the Hood actually set a time. Yes, he will if he hasn't invalidated his lap. What can Hood do? Currently in 7th place in the championship. 4th place on the track right now, 1:44.1.
He beats his teammate by 3 milliseconds there, so it's a Toro Rosso 4.5 or AlphaTauri 4.5. So it's a good position for them at the moment. But,
very impressive from him. Chipsy going into the pits. He's gonna abandon this run, gonna gamble it all on his last 1 or 2 runs near the end of qualifying. Coming up on the other side of 4 minutes. They're at 3:38 right now. if the other side of form is accurate. Can Grigor improve? Come across the line. Yes, he can improve, but only by 2 seconds, and that's not enough to put him up any further. Going to start in P16 currently, as there's a McLaren currently on their outlap. No, not on their outlet. That'll be got a Hellfire. Probably just gonna go straight into the pits. It's definitely interesting to see what strategies people pick as to when to go out. This is the longest circuit on the F1 calendar, so it's very important that when you're qualifying, you get your timing absolutely right.
Looks like God of Hellfire has improved by just over a 10. He'll jump Creme Soup for that 11th position with a 1:45.6. So, yeah, with just about 2.5 minutes remaining in this session, as you're saying, Cresta, it is the longest lap. We're seeing lap times in the range of the mid 140s on a flying lap. So any drivers that are wanting to get a final run in better leave the pits fairly soon.
Yeah, absolutely. Sorry, I'm just realizing that I have to redo my corner numbers. Apparently that was inaccurate. So 5. So I'm just scratching everything out and replacing. And that's not a turn in the F1 calendar, so I'm gonna have to scratch.
Yeah, hi guys. Sorry, down here in the pits, it's obviously really busy right now. We've seen the 2 retirements from Squiddy and Vez. Retired in the Haas in the crash, as you guys seen earlier. Vez is also out. And we've also got some feedback, I believe, from some people that Mikhail's voice is a little lower for the broadcast. So anyway, that's all I have at the moment. So back to you guys.
Let's see who will be the first to come up on their outlap. It'll be Duck Lovers, I believe, who will be the first. God of Hellfire deciding to stay out. We're only on 2. God of Hellfire and Grigor on 2-lap old soft tires. Is currently 2-lap old softs. Like everyone on softs, this is a long circuit. So there might be rain. We don't know. There might be rain in the future, considering that everyone is on the fastest tire right now. And not only the fastest tire, the one that degrades the easiest. As Duck Lovers heads to the pits.
I haven't heard anything about the weather for the race. That's certainly a possibility. But it isn't an easy soft medium here. The tires don't degrade too much over time, Pirelli bringing the harder compounds, I believe, to Spa-Francorchamps.
JJ giving a little toe to Yoda, his teammate. As we see Yoda gonna come through the bus stop chicane and approaching the line. Can he improve on pole position? Currently at 143.679. Gonna come across the line. No, cannot improve just yet. He'll have one more shot. As time expires, everyone has one more chance to cross the line. And Yoda, that'll be it for him. Ezzy 9 time, can he improve from P6? Going on board with Ezzy, yes he can. That'll be P4 to 144.0.
Those times in the midfield very, very close. So Yoda, very unfortunate not to improve there. Only missed out by 4 milliseconds.
Ooh. Creme Soup is next, currently P12. Can he crack the top 10? No, cannot improve on his lap. I mean, that's an Alfa Romeo going to the pits. Haas is still out. That is Henners. Will Henners be able to steal pole position from Yoda? Only a 10th behind. Coming up to the line. Yes, he can. It'll be Henners with the 143.492. 2 tenths ahead. Henners takes the spot from the newcomer. But we still have a few people to go. We have JJ, Chipsy, and Ironhammer. Chipsy will be the first of them to cross the line. Currently, P2 in the championship. What can Chipsy do? P7.
Only 7 for the Mercedes with a 144.2. We're a bit disappointed with that result.
Iron
But,
Hammer can't improve. Now it's all on JJ.
Yeah, so Freeware and JJ, the last two are going to be able to set a lap in this session. So the racing point, hard on the brakes into the bus stop chicane.
And goes into the pits.
And Freeware will take pole position at the 143.3. And ladies and gentlemen, that will be your grid for the race.
Yeah, definitely an entertaining qualifying session. Definitely be an even more entertaining season. Oh, Freeware. I didn't notice. Freeware came out of nowhere, 143.3. I didn't know he was still on a lap, but Freeware will take that podium spot. Or, sorry, P1's that provisional pole, or that official pole position.
Yeah, some very, very close times all the way down the grid. You know, you've got the, Freeware, Henners, and Yoda in the mid 43s, but all the way down from Easy Time down until I believe about 10th or 11th place are all within, about 6-7 tenths of each other. So it's very, very tight in that midfield.
Yeah, and here we are. Freeware will start on pole next to Henners, Yoda, Ezzy, 9-time Duck Lovers of the Hood, Chipsy, JJ, Ironhammer, and Muniz round out the top 10. Muniz is in his first LOR race. Same with Grigor, same with Yoda. Got a Hellfire, Cram Soup, Stryphium, Grigor, Ziploc, Squiddy, and Vez round out the grid. And we are going to go to the race music here. Enjoy the F1 theme. We will be right back.
You might have to boost him on your...
I can't, unfortunately. It's all the way up, and we are here for the Belgian Grand Prix. I'm sorry that... we are currently talking and we had to go live. So I'm sorry about that, but we are here in Spa for this final race in F1 2019 before the... I believe it'll be we'll have a 2-week break, and then we will go... we will switch over to F1 2019 with the first race in Austria, just like with real life. We are here at Spa. I'm sorry, we're here at Spa with the 19-turn circuit. Last winner here, Charles Leclerc in 2019. His second ever is, I believe, was it his first or his second? I forget.
It was his first win here. Unfortunate what happened in Bahrain.
Yeah, absolutely. Should have had it there.
Yeah, very tragic circumstances for the Belgian Grand Prix last year. Of course, we had the horrible accident for Antoine Hubert and Juan Manuel Correa.
Sorry to interrupt you guys. I believe that we have Easy chatting to us now on his formation lap there. So Easy, would you like to explain how you're qualifying?
Yeah, first couple laps was a bit tentative, especially the first lap. I mean, my strategy to start off is just get a time in. Don't take too much risk so you don't end up in a wall and end up in a bad spot. So get, one time down. But after that, it was pretty good. I think I had another 10th or so in me in the final section. But I'm happy with P4. I'm pretty pleased with that. So I'm going to go soft mediums for the race, and we'll see how that goes.
We will see how it goes indeed. Everyone is approaching the third sector now. And we are about to start this race around this 19-turn circuit. Fastest lap here is Valtteri Bottas in 2018. I don't have it on screen now, but I believe it was a 146.2. I can pull it back up on screen, but I don't want to start the start the music up over again. We are coming up to the line. As we get, or not inserted to the line yet. People are ghosting currently, and the AI just taking them to their grid slots.
Quite curious that all the drivers, even outside the top 10, are opting to start on those red striped soft compound tires. So everyone trying to get the best possible grip, as Charles Non-Crash will be bringing up the rear of the field. Of course, not able to qualify due to some technical issues. But let's see what the Ferrari can do from the back of the grid.
I'm just trying to find the best angle for you guys to see this side of the race. It should be here with Ezzy. No, it will not. Duck Lovers, Ezzy, there we go. We are here with 5 red lights in Belgium. And it's lights out racing, and we are underway. We see the Toro Rosso of the hood making a move, hitting the back of Duck Lovers. See, there is some collisions. We are now coming up to Eau Rouge and Radion. Gonna ride on board with Ezzy 9 time. Has lost some positions. Muniz immediately losing grip, going into the wall at the end of Radion, and that is his race done. And that triggers a virtual safety car immediately. And Iron Hammer is also done.
And Muniz, Iron Hammer, unfortunately ending their races all the way there, and also Stryfium in the racing point seemed to get tangled up Arouge and Radion as well. Credit to all the drivers for keeping it clean out of La Source though. Turn 1, very, very easy to pick up some damage, get into some collisions that we've seen over the years, of course. But yeah, a virtual safety car here on this first lap, and Henners has taken the lead from Freeware off the start, so a great job for the Haas there in P1 at the moment.
Yeah, very impressive. Charles Leclerc off, also should I say Charles Non-Crash as is his team name. He was actually able to gain 7 positions off of that. Very impressive, showing why he is the championship leader. And the VSC period has officially ended. We are underway again. Ooh, and that's Yoda up in his second. Henners has made a mistake. Freeware now has the lead of this race. And Duck Lovers is coming up very close. Oh, Cram Soup and JJ. What happened to them? That looks like at the end of Stavlos.
Yeah, the end of Stavlos.
Stavlos. Apologies.
Might have just seemed to get tangled up, but that's both their races. Yeah, so we've had 4 drivers retire already on this first lap in the final race for F1 2019.
Duck Lovers making a move on Henners, but no, is just too far out to make that work just yet. Of the Hood, meanwhile, was looking for a move on Chip C, but is too far back. Ezzy 9 time also too far back. Timing is a bit of an issue.
Oh, Duck Lovers!
Oh, Duck Lovers, what happened to him? Oh, crap. Also, same spot as Muniz. Saint Stachus going through Radion, losing the grip, and that's 5 drivers out of this race. Sorry, I have to... Sorry, I had to escape. Now Chipsy. Chipsy has made his way up to P4. I'm gonna look in chat, see what I can find out about what has happened so far.
Yeah, I'll get back to you about that on that. But look at this already.
Yeah,
Charles is up to P7.
Very, very impressive. Cram Soup. We have a message from Cram Soup. Cram Soup, the reason that he's out, he just got massive understeer. And just put it through Stavolo and just absolutely put it in the wall. And same with JJ. Just heavy understeering as Henners was going for a move, but the timing currently is very far behind for me. So
Oh, it was a massive crash again.
Hellfire, God of Hellfire is out of the session, and there's and Vez got tangled up as well, and Vez is just driven into the wall. He's reversing, and now he's retired from this session.
So
Jeez.
Half the grid is gone after 2 laps of running. So I think it's just a survive Spa at this point.
Yeah.
That's one.
Well, Gregor, let's see, the newcomers, Gregor and Yoda will be earning their first points here.
Let's see if we can hear from Easy again too. Now he's up into P3 after all that. Let's see what I'll see if I can get him so that we can to listen to what happened.
We got 6-3. We have 5 people now pitting onto mediums as we have a safety car.
Yeah, it's quite a chaotic start there to this Belgian Grand Prix. Having half the grid lose out, just a lot of drivers not able to get those tyres into that working range on that first lap, especially after that virtual safety car that gives them an opportunity to cool down. You just don't get the fronts gripping enough. That's why we've seen so many incidents at Stavlo. And then drivers, losing the rear up Arouge and Radeon, just not used to how the car feels and handles with the full fuel load. So very unfortunate for those drivers to that have crashed out of this session. But you know the saying, Krastar, to finish first you must finish.
Yes,
That's right.
absolutely.
Sorry to interrupt there. As obviously we can have the drivers are starting to share the information now on the live Twitch feed. That's good for us, so we'll be able to read that and see what they're saying. Funky JJ.
It's not connecting for me, unfortunately, so you're gonna have to be in charge of that.
Yeah, I'll read that out for you if you like that too. And obviously, if we have other people that would like to comment on anything that they're seeing with the race right now, if they're supporting a particular driver or anything, please feel free, comment away.
Yeah, absolutely. And now Ziploc, that's gonna be 2 races in a row with points. And Of the Hood has a drive-through penalty for speeding under the safety car. That is not good for him. Of the Hood currently 7th in the championship on 37 points. Was your race winner in Singapore.
And that's the last thing Of the Hood needed. As Ezzy Nighttime opts to stay out. Not sure I entirely agree with that decision, but as does Charles Non-Crash and Grigor. So they will be your top 3 of this race at the moment, but all the drivers who have opted to pit for the mediums won't need to stop again in this race. So not quite sure on the strategy call on that one, but maybe they know something that we don't there, Krastar.
Maybe indeed. Just waiting for this safety car to get back underway. Just waiting for everyone to catch up, and I think they will. I think we'll be resuming racing at the end of this lap. Ezzy Nighttime currently leading the race. Ezzy Nighttime's best finish in a race has been 5th. So we will see what he can do. This is definitely a certain form of entertainment. Mexico last week, that was certainly entertaining. Tons of battles going on. This is a whole different story. Just with the amount of retirements in this race, we saw a varied amount of retirements in Mexico. Our Assist 2 race, I think, was the least retirements that LOR has ever had so far, and we're following this up with 8 retirements already so far, and now I think Baku topped that, but I think they had a full grid, and we ended up with 9 or 10 retirements. And but yeah, definitely has been a different form of entertainment so far, as everyone has bunched together.
Yeah, the safety car will be in at the end of the lap as they're bunched together. As they start resuming race. I just wanted to just check with Macau, like, would you have done, what sort of strategy would you have boxed for some fresh tyres, or would you have stayed out? What kind of thing would you have probably chosen with your race experience?
Oh, I would have definitely pitted under that safety car. The mediums can easily do, most of the race, if not all the race, if you manage them properly. So I think all those drivers who did opt to box for the mediums are in a favorable position. Then again, they need to get those tires up to a proper working temperature ahead of the restart. Otherwise, they might experience a similar fate to their fallen competitors.
Just to give you an update for our champion, and Henner's 10 seconds for exceeding track limits. As we are away, Trying to find the best angle to view these. Everyone's a bit spread out actually on this safety car restart. So not necessarily the most entertaining, although I say that, and Freeware has in a battle with Grigor and has passed, coming into Eau Rouge and Radion. And going to the back of the grid, looks like everyone is of the hood at the exit of Radion has lost his wing. Has lost his end plate of the hood, dropping to the back of the grid already. And now Yoda right into Henners. Is Henners okay? Chitsy has taken P6. Is Henners alright?
And this looks okay at the moment, the front wing. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't see any damage on that Haas at the moment, but he's really falling back after getting shaken after that 10-second penalty at the restart. He's now lost, 2 positions basically in the space of 3 corners to both Yoda and Chipsy. So I hope that penalty hasn't knocked his confidence. He really needs to pick up the pace if he wants to have a shot at some decent points.
Yeah, but it's also just the collision with Yoda there. That was definitely that was unsettling for me to watch. Just imagine that as a driver. Now we're gonna go with Charles non-crash in the Ferrari. Not the best of engine sounds right now. Trying to catch up to SE9 time, and is doing so actually on this straight. Gonna be right at the back of him through this box chicane. He is really his shifting. I think there's something wrong with his shifting, as Yoda has set the fastest lap 1:48.5 as Freeware has caught up and is also in the battle now.
Yeah, Freeware saving up a lot of that battery. You can see on the steering wheel, puts it up into mode 4, as is Charles non-crash. So they're really going to try and use that slipstream down the Camel Straight. Of course, no DRS as of yet. That will be enabled next lap, but there are battles going on all down the grid.
No one able to overtake just yet, as we got this brilliant aerial view of this battle. To give you some championship updates right now, for, again, Charles non-crash currently in second, your championship leader. For Chipsy in second. For Chipsy to overtake Charles non-crash in the championship, he needs to finish 4 places ahead of Charles. And so far, Charles is 3 places ahead of Chipsy. Although, as I'm saying that, Charles gets a 3-second time penalty. So that will increase host for Chipsy, as Freeware is right on the back of Charles.
Yeah, that racing point trying to get as close as he can to the back of that Ferrari.
Losing time a little bit, though.
Yeah, he seems to have not gotten the best of exit out of Stabilo. But, no, he certainly has the pace. We've seen that he's had the pace, from previous events.
Mm-hmm.
But currently, Easy Time, still in the lead of this race, holding a fairly decent gap back to Charles, but DRS will be enabled this lap, so let's see how the drivers can use that, as Yoda also setting a new fastest lap with a 1:48.1.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt there. So as you guys can read there too, the retired drivers there that we had, obviously, of Cream Suit and Duck Lovers, and Iron Hammer, etc. They're also discussing right now in the Twitch feed about the accidents and so forth, to the retirements. Yeah.
But Charles non-crash.
Coming out as there's some contact there, but Charles passes.
So Charles into the lead of this race once again, and Of the Hood has to pit a second time. He has to serve that drive-through, I believe. Maybe. Yeah. So it's gone from bad to worse for the Toro Rosso at this stage.
Yeah, just hope. It's just getting it out of the way early, hoping for another safety car. With what we've seen so far, it might come to pass. But now we only have 10 drivers. But so less of a chance for someone to punt it.
Well, this top 4 at the moment seem to be getting very, very close to each other. Only about 3 to 5 tenths in it each. So I think looks like we'll have a pretty good battle for the first place at the moment. Remember, Charles Noncrash and Ezzy Time still need to pit. They haven't made a pit stop yet this race, and they do need to use 2 different tire compounds.
Honestly, it's honestly just a side note. It's just kind of annoying how the spectator menu is going over the track layout. That's just kind of annoying. It's hard to keep track when people are on coming into Eau Rouge Radion and the straight. As Freeware might try something on SE9 time, but waits, gonna make the switchback move. Coming up to Eau Rouge and Radion, on board with Ezzy, there's a little bit of wheel-to-wheel contact. And Freeware will make the move before Eau Rouge and Radion. Will Ezzy have DRS? No, Freeware will have, both of them will have DRS. Ezzy coming back. Freeware squeezing him out almost onto the grass, and Ezzy just punching it, going wide. Gonna have to take the safe road. Ezzy will have to hand position back to Freeware, and Yoda will capitalize, getting P3.
I've just noticed this. Yoda's missing his left end plate.
Still going though.
Yeah, he's still showing some very strong pace, but you know, that probably definitely is affecting the balance of that Williams at the moment. See, he runs very, very wide at Pouon.
Ooh, and Ezzy is back on him.
Yoda going defensive into the next right-hand corner, and Ezzy will make the move work. Around the outside, becomes the inside for the next left-hander, and he will be back up into that podium place.
Although Ezzy just stripped his wheels into the gravel a little bit, if Yoda can keep it clean, he might have a chance to come up on him. There's a yellow flag in Sector 2. That's a Haas, I believe.
No, that's Ziploc.
No.
Ziploc had a spin. So he'll be back down in 59, and he's missing his whole left-hand side of his wing. So he'll definitely have to
the blue of his wing is missing. And now we have Yoda pitting, and Ezzy finally in the pits for mediums. And now that is Charles Noncrash, your championship leader, now the leader of this race.
Yeah, he still has to do his mandatory pit stop. It looks like Yoda wasn't happy with that wing damage, so he's going to get that replaced, put on a fresh set of mediums.
Yeah, they're boxing the mediums.
Sorry.
It's really noisy here, sorry.
As Ziploc picks up a 5 seconds for speeding into the pit lane. So that's not going to help his case at all.
Absolutely. I was going to say something, but now it has slipped my mind. But
that's why I do that all the time.
Yeah, Grigor really impressing. First race now into P4. He was stone dead last in qualifying, only followed by Vez and Charles Noncrash. Charles because he wasn't in the qualifying session, and Vez because he didn't set a time before he crashed out. And Grigor now in P4, although he is still in the softs, and so is Charles Noncrash. Gypsy with the early pitting to the mediums, and with Charles, he might have to come to the pit soon. So Gypsy could retake the lead of this race, and that could lead to him possibly retaking the lead of the championship if things go well for him.
You can just see the speed on that racing point. He's all the way over the back of that Ferrari, but it looks like Charles will be making his way into the pits to make his mandatory pit stop.
That'll be Freeware back into the lead of the race. Started out on pole position, and then now Gypsy will be chasing. 5-second gap though.
Charles is boxed, and he's put on the mediums now, so he's going back out again.
And I apologize for when we're watching Charles on my screen. When we go on board with Charles, you hear for some reason, it's fixed now. That's good. But for some reason, he was always at max revs for some reason on my stream. But now he's gone to the pits and he's had that fixed. And the issue has been fixed. And currently, as it stands now, Charles would keep the lead of the championship if these standings stay the same.
Well, Charles coming out just ahead of the path of Squid. So, he's remaining P4 at the time being, but certainly having that Haas right behind him isn't going to do him any favors.
And definitely, but Charles on the newer so they are just so fresh. They need time to wear into the circuit, but eventually those the 7-lap difference will come into play.
Yeah, it looks like he's starting to pull away a bit from that Haas. He's now got a gap of 1.2 seconds. So he's using those fresh mediums to full effect. And also that
Squiddy going a bit wide, maybe intentionally. Squiddy currently has been the definition of consistency. Has competed in 4 of these 5 races and has finished 4th, 4th, 5th, and 5th. And currently, what position is he in?
He's in 5th at the moment, but I think he'll be 4th after Grigor makes his pit stop.
Yeah, but yes, that's the point. That he's an incredibly consistent driver. Has not DNF'd in a race. The only other driver to do that, to have raced 4 races and have not DNF'd, is him. This is Squiddy, Henners, and it was Cram Soup. And it was Cram Soup and Iron Hammer, but now they've both DNF'd. So now it's only Squiddy, and who is the other guy I was saying? It's only Squiddy and Henners.
Yep. So, and as you were saying, I think it was Mikhail was saying earlier too, the classic saying, to finish first you must finish. So that obviously is a thing that's proven as to why they are leading the championship, or high up in the championship, obviously.
Yeah.
Now, just to update you on the penalties, Charles in P3 in the Ferrari has a 3-second penalty, and Henners, as we saw earlier back in P6 in the Haas, has 10 seconds of penalties, and that's it so far that I have for penalty updates.
And that Duck Lovers now. Duck Lovers and God of Hellfire will now be the only two people to have DNF'd in half of the races that they've raced in. Although Jetty has been
Probably cut you off there, Krastar, but Izzy 9-time making a move up the inside of Squid into Blanchimont. That takes some serious bravery there. So Izzy 9-time trying to recover.
Yeah, we were on board with him. We saw that move and very, very well thought out.
Can I
very
just
well
cut in and say,
executed.
I think that was very easy.
That's a great pun. Great pun there from Mr. Biggles. But all this fighting that was going on, Henners isn't too far behind. He has expelled a lot of his battery though, but he'll be looking to try and catch up with his teammate. As the clouds seem to be looming a little bit, so I don't know if there's any threat of rain.
It is Spa.
Yeah, but it is Spa. You're right, Krastar. It is Spa, so anything can happen on the weather front.
Yeah.
Looks like Eddie has made that move stick for the time being.
If you ever need to use less syllables, Kraz is fine. You can do either one. Not mine.
I'll keep that in mind.
Squiddy falling back a little bit from Ezzy right now. It was 4/10 and now it is 9/10. Just showing maybe those mediums are coming into effect. Even now they're only 9 laps old for Squiddy compared to Ezzy's 3.
Yeah, the medium shouldn't be wearing out too much.
Yeah.
At this stage. You might be seeing, the drivers might be feeling, some loss of grip, particularly if you stop at that first safety car. But they'll still have plenty of life left in them. But certainly the 6-lap difference between Ezzy 9-time and Squid is certainly helping the Toro Rosso driver pull away.
Meanwhile, Yoda in the Williams is slowly catching up to Henners, as Henners is thinking about making a move on his teammate, but no, he's just going to follow. And now he makes the move, coming into the at the end of the bus stop chicane, and Yoda is gonna make the move as well. Just Squiddy very much losing out. Is gonna try to go around the outside of Yoda, but it won't work. Squiddy's just falling back and back.
Yeah, but you now got 3 cars all in the line. So make their way up, Al Rouge and Radion. Yoda and Squid both gonna have the DRS.
Yeah, I felt Squid just lifting off there. Coming up with Radion. Yoda not gonna be able to overtake Henners just yet. Coming into Malmedy. That's how you pronounce it. I don't know how you pronounce any of these corner names.
That's alright. Just say, like, you know, left-hander, right-hander. No one will know the difference.
True. Except for Rouge and Radion.
Yeah. Well, Yoda's still sticking to the back of the Haas in front of him, as Hennes gets a little bit tail happy through Pillon. So,
and we can see the fog. Sorry. No, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm just saying, Yoda's just eyeing up that Haas in front of him. He's saving up that battery, waiting for his moment to strike. I certainly get the feeling that Hennes is holding up Yoda at this current moment in the race.
Yeah.
You can see right now. I wonder if he's going to get his tickets ready for the bus stop, because that to me would be the place that he could probably make the move right now. What do you think?
Oh, Hennes going very deep into that braking zone for the bus stop chicane.
Yoda looking to capitalize. Gonna come and take the inside line. And yeah, Henner's going a little bit wide, just a touch, and that'll be Yoda up into P5.
Yeah, but now Hennes is going to have the DRS on the Camel Straight, so there might be a, you know, coming back. There's Yoda having a little bit of a moment going up Rouge and Radion, and as I said, Hennes is going to have that DRS down the Camel Straight, and he'll just take back that position like it was nothing.
Yeah, unlike Squiddy going up Rouge and Radion, he was just able to go up full throttle, and you saw Yoda have that. Oh, and Henners off the edge of that curb almost lost it, and now they're side by side, going into the hairpin.
So
yeah,
we've seen this before, like with these drivers. There's a lot of retaking and overtaking once again as they get the DRS. So as a driver, what can you do possibly to try to get a 1 second gap to get out of DRS in such a short period of time? Is there any tricks that these drivers can do, or they just have to stick it out?
It all depends on when they choose to make their overtake. You have to be like really calculated and know that you can pull the gap, and just try and push as hard as you can once you make that overtake to break out of that 1 second DRS zone. So probably the best place for these drivers is after that Camel Straight DRS zone. So you have that whole twisty bit of Sector 2 to try and make a gap. But Yoda still trying to find any way past the Haas. And as goes defensive into the bus stop chicane. So that will definitely compromise his run. But Yoda having a little bit of wheel spin at the exit there is going to subdue the attack for now.
Yoda still on the back of Henners, though, still within that half second. Coming up through Rouge and Radion. Can Yoda keep it tight this time? We're on board with him. Yes, he can. Keeps it tight. He's on the DRS straight. Activates it. And he's just going to fly past Henners. Is going to take that P5 now.
Yeah, so now this is the time for Yoda to push. If he wants to break out of that DRS range of the Haas behind him, he needs to really push. Use all that battery that he saved up.
And there he goes. He's already away.
He's already pulled 7/10 on the Haas. So using those tires to the best visibility.
Henry's coming very close to the wall there.
Just to cut you off, guys, we can see the front guys. So these guys that are battling it out here have much fresher rubber, but we still have Freeware and Chipsy that we forgot about up in the lead right now, because they're just kind of leading this race by themselves with a gap, and Chipsy's off the leader there almost 10 seconds now. But they're on worn rubber as I think you guys had said earlier that these medium compounds can go to the end, but is there any kind of cliff that they start falling off on? Any lap number specifically? Will they start losing time?
It all depends on how these drivers manage their tires. They shouldn't feel too much of a cliff until really maybe the last 2 or 3 laps of the race. But they certainly aren't going to be giving them as much grip as if they were brand spanking new.
Meanwhile, Yoda has set the fastest lap, 1:46.9. Already had that fastest lap, I believe, and just improving on that time.
Yeah, he's just using all of that fuel, all of that ERS that he's saved up to try and catch up to the Toro Rosso in front of him. Current gap's just over 2 seconds, but with pace like that, it might not be too long before there's another victim on Yoda's hit list.
It looked like that Yoda must have listened to your what do you call it? Your technical skills on how to get out of the DRS zone through that tricky section 2, I believe, sector 2. So he did that, managed to do it, and now he can move closer into looking at.
Henners, sorry to interrupt. Henners had another moment on that curb at the end of turn 7, and almost lost it again. Not as much of a moment as last time, but still just struggling with turn 7.
Another thing to keep in mind is that Hennes still has that 10-second time penalty that he will have to deal with. So currently he will be finishing behind his teammate if the gaps stay as they are. There's still quite a few laps left in this race, as our race leader Freeway is now beginning lap 17. But yeah, Henry can't really forget about that time penalty. It's still going to be looming, and he really does need to pull a gap if he wants to hold on to that 6th place.
Yeah, so far, I know we haven't quite gotten to the end of the race just yet, but so far, would you nominate everyone for driver of the day?
I mean, Freeway's been really consistent with his pace so far, but I can't really go on about him, as Yoda, in that 5th place in the Williams, is now within DRS range and is gaining so much time on that Toro Rosso in front, and he's going to pass it like it's nothing. Uses that DRS, whacks it up into overtake using that rich fuel, and that is the Williams up into 4th place now.
Yeah, as Kraz was saying before, if I had to probably pick a driver of the day at this point, still early in the race, when lap 17, 22, I would probably have to give it to Charles, because he's up 15 places, obviously, after missing the qualifying session. So, and obviously going to secure his lead in the championship.
Yeah, Charles there in P3 for the Scuderia, just sort of minding his, just running his own race at the moment. Of course, did very well to avoid the chaos of the first couple of laps and, escaped there basically unscathed. Oh, Ziploc down in 10th place.
That's his second penalty now.
Yeah, these off the hood and Ziploc just not having a race to remember. They will score points if they're able to finish this race, but certainly don't want to be 10 and 20 seconds behind the next car respectively.
I wanted to check with Kraz if there was any way that we could speak to any of these drivers who had the early retirement at all, if they would be available to speak.
Yeah, if you can,
Yeah, if you can find them in the paddock, Biggles. If you find them in the paddock, they're more than welcome to give us a quick interview while there's a bit of a lull in the race at the moment.
A LOL or a LOR?
That was bad. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, you're not having that one. Yeah, all the gaps seem to have really extended at the moment. Currently, the closest gap still is that 1.5 seconds between Yoda and Ezzy 9 time. But these clouds are still worrying me, Kraz. I don't know about you, but it still seems pretty dark.
Yeah, it definitely does. If rain started coming down right now, I'd go in, but we still have 4.5 laps left. We only have that much, and I know Spa's the longest track on the calendar, but if we get, but definitely like only like 4 laps left. I'm not the most sure about pitting to inters.
Yeah, if it doesn't start raining like right this second, I don't think any of the drivers will really switch. But even if it starts, raining, even just light spits, for the last lap or two on these dry tires, these worn dry tires, that could really cause some issues going up, Eau Rouge, Radion, Pouon, all the very fast corners where you really are asking a lot from those tires. So I'm not sure. We'll see what the weather gods have in store for us. But currently, all the gaps still continuing to extend. So we apologize for the lack of action on track, but all these drivers just seem to be running their own race at the moment.
I think you gotta account for those first 2 laps of excitement, those first couple laps of excitement though, with the safety cars, then the battling for position. I think just the race gods have had too much excitement.
Well, anything can happen. It is Spa. It is F1.
That is very true.
We aren't out of the count yet. Freeway, your current race leader, just sitting there pretty with an 11.5-second gap back to Chipsy in P2, who himself has a 10-second gap back to Charles Non-Crash. But saying that, looks like Yoda is slowly reeling in the Ferrari. So we might see a bit of action, in maybe a few laps' time. But, Yoda's slowly running out of time to catch and pass this Ferrari ahead of him.
It is a long track out here in Spa, so could have a chance. If it was a track like Abu Dhabi, or like a short, I don't know, that's very hard to overtake and only 3 laps left, I would probably say no, it doesn't have a chance. But with the long track like Spa with 3 laps left, it is a possibility.
You also have to keep in mind that Charles does have that 3-second time penalty that he got,
yes.
I think around lap 5 or 6. I'm not exactly sure what lap it was.
Yeah,
he does have that 3 seconds to contend to. So he really needs to push if he wants to hold on to that podium place, because that Williams behind him is flying at the moment, Kraz.
But the gap so far on my screen has kind of been maintaining. Just that 2.2 seconds. Hasn't really gotten any closer than that.
Yeah, but it's not 3 seconds, so Charles still needs to really push. He hasn't got a whole lot of battery at his disposal. But if he wants to keep that podium place, he does need to, put his foot to the floor and really push that Ferrari as fast as he can around the Spa circuit for the last 3 laps of this race.
Chipsy has reeled in the gap a little bit. It's gonna be nowhere near enough. This is 10 seconds for 10.8 seconds versus 11.5. But but at the moment, Chipsy does have the faster pace. It's just catching up. Freeware is kind of going a bit slower now. Don't really know why. Just Chipsy just catching up. It won't happen. He won't overtake him. But Freeware just slowing down a bit. Knows just the extent of the gap that he has.
Yeah, I think Freeware at this point just, he knows he's got a significant gap back to Chipsy, so I think he's just cruising and making sure he can bring the car home to secure the points for him and his team.
Yeah. And meanwhile, Yoda, now it's 1.5 seconds between him and Charles Non-Crash.
Yeah, so that gap is closing, but I don't know if it's closing fast enough.
And meanwhile, the cloud cover is going away. Sun is out.
Yeah, so that's why the driver's very thankful that the rain gods haven't descended upon the Spa-Francorchamps circuit. Yeah, even though Charles does have that 3-second time penalty, I'm sure Yoda will want to get that position on track as Charles goes a bit deep in that long downhill right-hander, losing half a second in that one corner. So Yoda might even be in DRS range for this final lap.
Absolutely. I just noticed that with just constantly been looking at coming to campus at turn 14, just the spectator's grandstand that's high up on that hill. And it's kind of like isolated from the rest of the track, and boy, like that would be a place that I would love to watch a race from.
Yoda's now closed that gap to 0.4 through Sector 2, that last lap, as Charles misses that apex at Blanchimont. So he must really be struggling either with like his tires or, you know, just is getting a bit tired, a bit fatigued through the race. But our race leaders have now started the final lap of this race, and Yoda is within DRS range of Charles for the final lap.
And speaking of race leaders, Freeware is gonna make it 2 for 2 in this race. Again, one in Mexico last week, and save for an accident is gonna win. Ooh, and Yoda has to lift off the throttle because of Charles.
Yeah, Charles having a massive moment up the hill. Goes defensive down the Camel Straight, but it looks like the Williams will get ahead of the Ferrari, and that is not something you say every day in the current era of F1A.
Absolutely, these would, these would be, and that's unfortunate that Yoda is not a full-time driver, is not signed up to be a full-time driver, is a reserve as of today, but if he signs up to become a full-time Assist 1 driver, these would be Williams' first points in Assist 1.
I believe too that if you look at that Charles with the penalty, as now he probably didn't think that it was worthwhile trying to fight that and possibly even risk losing a wing or crashing out. So he could, obviously he had P4 anyway, so there was no chance of him having the third place. Yoda obviously was a lot more quicker. But back behind Ken Easy.
We gotta go to Freeware. Sorry to interrupt. He's come through the bus stop chicane. He's dominated the second half of this race. He comes across the line to win in Belgium. Very good race from him. Meanwhile, going back to Yoda and Charles non-crash, Yoda's gonna keep it through, and Yoda will finish P3, and Charles will finish P4. The gap to Ezzy, I don't think is big enough for him to drop back to P5. As Ezzy crosses the line, yep, it will be Ezzy in P5, and Charles in P4. Charles will retain the lead of the championship.
Well, I'm curious to see now is that Off the Hood did pit for fresh softs, that last lap. So he's currently gunning it for that fastest lap point. He's making his way through Saddle at the moment.
Yeah, Biggles, what's the telemetry looking like? How's he doing on his go for fastest lap?
So far, he's got the fastest second sector. It looks like he's really quick in the first sector. So possibly, let's see what he can do. It's it's pretty blistering fast in the second sector, but it's easy to make a mistake here. So let's just see what he can do. His tires are a little worn in the soft.
That'll be it. That'll be the fastest lap. 1:45.285. Fastest lap of this race. That's an extra point to Of the Hood. And as Ziploc is going to come across the line, that is going to be the end of this race. That'll be Freeware, your official race winner here.
And you have, Chipsy and Yoda rounding off the other podium places. So great drive from those three. Just really kept it consistent, stayed out of trouble, and then they got rewarded for their consistency.
And that will be it. That will be the final race for Assist 1 in F1 2019. We still have interviews to go, but the next race is also in Belgium. It'll be Tuesday, it'll be non-assists, and Thursday it will be Assist 2. But we have interviews coming up with Freeware, your race winner. Chipsy in second place. Yoda rounding out the podium. Charles Non-Crash, Ezzy 9-time Henners, Squiddy, Grigor of the Hood, and Ziploc rounding out the top 10 and rounding out the finishers. Scott of Hellfire, Vez, Duck Lovers, Striphium, JJ, Cram Soup, Muniz, and Iron Hammer all DNF this race, mostly due to understeer, from what I've heard. And those are your unofficial standings. Obviously, things might change due to penalties, but it's definitely more of a race where you don't expect it. There are definitely some races where you do expect the penalties might change it. Didn't really see any big incidents here that were penalty caused by other drivers, but we will. But again, that can change. But we will go to the interviews now. Anyways, gonna go to that interview section.
So now we are joined by Freeware, our race winner.
Once again.
So that's 2 in a row for you now. Freeware, how are you feeling? How did you feel your race went?
Yeah, the first few laps, like the first lap was quite messy with the safety car. No, it wasn't a safety car, it was a virtual safety car thing. Yeah, I got passed by Henry in the first corner, but then got passed again. And there was some point after Yoda and me pitted on the safety car when I think it was Easy 9 time in front, who was battling with me on the straight. And he was completely on the inside and he just didn't brake for the comp. Just sent it straight and then almost hit me on the rejoin. And then I was forced to brake and Yoda got front wing damage. Could have been a nice battle with Yoda, but unluckily didn't work out for him. Yeah, quite a boring race for the rest. Easy
You
one
showed
stop.
great consistency over that second half of the race, so well done. Congratulations on your win and the 25 points that you will bring home for yourself and Racing Point. Now move on to Yoda.
Is officially classified as a reserve driver, so will not officially be bringing home Racing Point.
Well, you still brought home the
25 points to yourself.
Yeah, who needs a team? Am I right? Okay, so now we're joined by our third place man, Yoda, on his LOR debut. Quite a race that you had there, Yoda. Especially at the beginning and towards the end, catching that Ferrari ahead of you. Do you want to give us a rundown of how you went in your race?
Yeah, my race was action packed basically. we had a little tussle on lap 1 with Henry and Freeware, but then we got in a little tussle with Henry as well. I got a slipper oversteer and then I clipped Henry's wing. He had to pit. Then just a few laps earlier, I think it was after the safety car later, and
Lap 8.
lap 8, the incident happened with, I think it was a Toro Rosso where it just went straight, and then while coming back onto the track, it was basically Freeware was forced to brake, and yeah, it took my wing off, didn't react in time. Then it was just a matter of putting on new mediums and seeing what we can do to the end of the race. But yeah, it turned out well. Some good race pace. Tires felt good like throughout the entire race. I don't know, somehow the car kept feeling better and better, and yeah, it's a good result. I'll take it.
Yeah, there is an Alpha Male and a Haas slot if you want to sign up full time, but the next race won't be for a couple of weeks. We're entering our summer break. It is summer break, entering our 2-week non-race break, you could call it.
Yep. We also have Cram Sudin here, who also had an accident, I believe, at the start. I'd like to hear from him to see what happened there at the race start.
Yeah, I started 12th. I had a pretty average qualifying, and then in the race, that crash at Eau Rouge was pretty epic, pretty crazy to be honest.
Yeah.
I didn't expect that at all, but apparently from what the guys are saying, apparently it was like dirty air and the back end just went. But yeah, with my accident, I was just on safety. Was it safety or virtual safety car or whatever it was. I just understeered off basically. The guy in front of me, JJ understeered off as well, and yeah, felt pretty bad. After being in 8th from 12th, but yeah.
All right, thank you. Yeah, sorry about that. It happens, but we did lose a lot of cars at the start, as you were saying. There was JJ, there was Striffium. No, he was a little further. Muns. There was there was a lot of corner carnage there, so we lost a lot, like 3 or 4 cars.
Yeah.
Yep. Next time, obviously, and thank you.
Thank you. And see you guys to Austria.
Yep. See you guys in the new game.
Yep.
All right, and there aren't any other people in here, so that will be it.
Yeah, thanks. I like you. It's like I couldn't bring these guys in. I don't have any permission to invite them to the I can invite them to the channel, but they can't join that channel during the race.
That's unfortunate.
I think,
yeah, we can definitely sort that out. But meanwhile, thank you everyone for watching. We have broadcasts on Tuesday and Thursday. But for Belgium in the other leagues, non-assist and assist too. But for when we get back, I am just looking at the calendar for the first date we get back. That will be July 18th. July 18th in Austria. Definitely looking forward to that, and definitely looking forward to the first 2 real races in Austria. Definitely understandable if you don't come back, because it'll be 3 straight weeks in a row of Austria with the 2 F1 races and then ours. So totally understandable if you've had enough Austria by the time our race comes around. But we hope to see you then. Bye, everyone.